Let me turn my phone off before after I get started. Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming out to our monthly meeting of the newly reorganized Democratic Party of Marion County. I was telling a couple of y'all, it's pretty good. 3 months ago we didn't exist, and now here we are. And we're going to hear from the next governor of Arkansas in just a little bit. Okay, let's start off by reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone would stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I'm excited to see everybody here today. We appreciate y'all coming out. Free air conditioning. Can't beat that. I wanted to make just a couple of introductions. We're going to go through our business meeting real quickly so that we can get on to hearing from Senator Love. But I do want to make just a couple of introductions of your executive committee. Our vice chair is Curtis Smith, but he and his wife are entertaining their 6-year-old granddaughter right now. And he said he'd be back next month to rest. Peggy Moody is our secretary. Carrie Campbell is our treasurer. Linda Lynch is our election commissioner. Thank goodness. Yeah. Marlene Wyatt and Jeff Bird are our members of the state committee that represent us on the state committee. And I'm Cindy, I'm your chair. Okay. We'll start off with approval of the June minutes. I emailed those out to those that we have already had email addresses for that have joined us previously. Did anybody have any corrections or changes to that? I noticed one, Peggy.
Oh, okay.
The date at the top.
Is that important?
It said details.
It said July instead of June?
No, it says it's supposed to say June, but it said 17th instead of 27th. Okay. With that correction, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as emailed. Linda?
Second.
And Kathy seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed no. Motion carries. Treasurer's report, Carrie. You're going to have to shout.
Okay, I will. You know I don't have a problem with that. We had a previous balance of $1,429.04. We had expenses this month of $685.58. We had income of $485, including donations and T-shirts sales, which brought us to $1,228.46.
Thank you, Carrie. Got your name there for a minute. I've only known you forever. Okay. Anybody who has not already filled out the membership form, if you'd like to, there's no fee, but it'll get you on our email list and our messaging so that you'll know about things that are going on in the future. Carrie's got some back here, and I've got them up here if anybody would like one. But be sure and fill it out before you leave so that we'll get you included in our list, in our distribution list. Okay? And just along those lines, we started out at our April meeting with 19 people. We had 31 at May. We had 41 in attendance last month, but I think we're at 38 members right now. So, like I told several of y'all 3 months ago, we weren't in existence. So, we're pretty proud. Okay. Unfinished business. Peggy, would you like to share with us about the Good Trouble Lives On rally?
John Lewis, Good Trouble Lives On, and we got up to it in Harrison last weekend. It was hot, very humid. 4 of us, so Cindy, myself, and Kathy, and Alan came. And so there was a little bit of sign waving, but mostly it was about listening to candidates that came. And I just want to give a little shout out to Debbie Renfro because she's the one that organizes all these Harrison events that have been fabulous. She was awesome. if you get any kind of information from either us about what's happening over there, please consider going on and supporting them.
Tell them they can give me their email address and
Yes,
I'll.
if you want to give her email address, she'll make sure you get on that list. So it was very good, and listening to the candidates, you know, you just learn a little bit more about your options, and so that's what's important. And there were a couple libertarians there as well, so we get to see the range of what we've got out there who are running for offices. So anyway, that was it.
Thanks, Peggy.
It was great.
Marlene, you want to report on our 4th of July booth? Real loud.
I'll try. Our 4th of July booth at the Yellow City Park, I think, was a really huge success. We gave patriotic bracelets and candy to the kids, also gave away cold water, chips, and over 100 hot dogs. I'd say overall it was a successful, goodwill community event for all of us Marion County Democrats.
Yep.
Thank you, Marlene. It was a lot of fun, too. And we had the best location of any booth there. I was proud of the folks who got there on time. I was late. They got there on time and got us at the best spot. We danced and sang and gave away food, and people were just in awe. And some of them come up and said, so I guess you want us to vote for the Democrats, right? And Peggy very diplomatically said, we just want to be good neighbors. I'm back here saying this. Okay.
And we also got a shout out from the committee, from the stage, that Marion County and the Republicans and Democrats were there. So,
And we had our new banner. It looked really good.
yeah.
Okay. We're not going to spend much time on Turkey Trot because we'll spend a lot of time at our August meeting finalizing details for that, but we will have a booth and we are going to be in the parade, so stay tuned for more details about that. Civic engagement, voter registration, we're going to focus on that in September, so we'll have more details at August meeting about that as well. We're going to hit voter registration hard and heavy. Hopefully it'll be a little cooler in September. And if anybody asks you, October 5th is the last day to register to vote, to be able to vote in the November election. So we'll get all of our voter registrations done before that and turned in. T-shirts, some of y'all have already seen. We've got some back there for sale for $20. Social media. Carrie, do you know what our current followers on Facebook?
162.
162. And we started from 0 when Carrie set up the Facebook page 3 months ago. So please share our page with people and let them know about it. Ellen Bergman, who couldn't be here today, has set us up an Instagram account also. I know young people follow Instagram more than Facebook, and that's probably why I don't follow Instagram, because I'm not one of those young people. But I'm going to learn. Food donations, the first month we took them to the Yeovil area food closet. Last month went to Bull Shoals. This month I'm in contact with a guy at Flippin who has set up a charitable organization to help people who are in need of different things, and he has agreed. There's not an official food pantry in Flippin. I suspect some of them come to Yeovil, but he's going to take our donations and distribute them in the blessing boxes around Flippin. And he said he'd take pictures, and I said, I trust you. I don't think you're going to rip us off, and I know him. So that's where these donations will be going, will be to the blessing boxes around the community of Flippin. If any of you know of any other food pantries in the county, please be sure and let me have that information, because we want to try to distribute them around the county. New business. I got a message a few weeks ago from a woman that I know who works as the treasurer of the city of Bull Shoals, and she said she knew that I was the chair of this, and she said, I know that you're the chair of the new Marion County Democrats, and I just want you to know that the Marion County Republicans just came in and paid the vendor's fee to be at the Bull Shoals Dam Jam on September 26th, and I wanted to see if y'all wanted to. So we're going to have a booth in Bull Shoals at the Bull Shoals Dam Jam in September, and there will be more information about that at the August meeting as well. August is going to be a busy meeting. Marion County Fair is August 27th through the 29th. That's why we can't have our August meeting here, because the fair will be going on at the time. I don't know if we're going to try to have a booth or anything for that yet. I'm waiting for the fair books to come out, and they either came out yesterday or Monday. I checked. So we'll see what the requirements are to do that and decide going forward. But having said that, we still need a venue for our August meeting. We've checked with the Senior Center, we've checked with Fred Berry Conservation Center, we've checked with, where else? Maybe that's it. So if anybody knows of a place that would accommodate a group like this with a few tables that we can ask about, preferably free, but if not free, cheap, because we are getting going.
Why couldn't we get in those two places?
I'm sorry?
Why couldn't we get in those two places?
The Fred Berry Conservation Center doesn't do political events, and the Senior Center will only do political type events if candidates from both parties are there.
Did you check the DFW?
I have not yet. I just posted that the other day, so.
We're members, so.
Okay, I'll talk to you about it.
Don't forget the hut downtown Yellowville.
The what?
The hut will rent out.
The hut?
Oh, the only thing about the Legion hut is the parking. Plus, it is $200. Now, what I was told was that if you clean it up real good afterwards, they might give you $100 back. Nope, she's saying no. So that, I trust her. I think she knows. So that's pretty much out of our budget. And if it was an ideal location and parking and everything, we might try to scrape together donations for it, but the parking is not good, I don't think. Okay? But if you know of any other places for us to check, and you'll just have to stay tuned to the emails or to our Facebook or Instagram to see where to go next month.
Well, we were in the annex for the first,
I'm sorry?
we were in the annex for one meeting.
Yeah.
How would that be?
We went there 2 meetings,
Yeah.
but the last time we were there, we were pretty packed in, and, Kelly will need a table, we'll need a table. So we can do that probably as a last resort, and it's free.
Yeah.
Free is good, but I do have that on my list if we're, really needing to find a place. I just, the last time we were there, we were pretty full. Okay, the calendar of events, I finally got smart enough to print that on the back of the agendas, so I only used one piece of paper. The only thing that I wish I included on there is August 26th is Women's Equality Day, which celebrates the anniversary of the 19th Amendment. So keep that in mind. You may see some events around celebrating that. All right, I want to say thank you to Kathy, Jeff, Sandy, Marlene, and Linda for providing refreshments today. Thank you all for putting together and doing that. We didn't have to pay anything, so don't send us your bill. Okay, that's enough from me. Oh, I want to mention this. Anybody see this week's Echo?
Yes.
Yay! Front page. Smiling face, Senator. All right. It gives me great pleasure. Oh.
If anybody brought a guest who wants to become a member, we'll put you in a drawing for a special treat.
Thank you. Did y'all hear that? If you brought someone that filled out a membership application and is joining us, you get your name in a drawing for a $10 gift card to Ozark Campfire coffee and books. So if you brought someone, be sure and get your, Carrie's got the slips back there. Okay, anything else? All right, now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, and I appreciate he and his colleague, Warren, coming up from Little Rock, Central Arkansas. I know you're in that area, but for folks up here, it's all Little Rock. I had the opportunity to hear Senator Love speak when he came to the Stone County Democrat County Convention, and I think we're in for a treat. I'm glad y'all turned out. Senator Love has served 11, 12 years in the House of Representatives, and he's in his 4th year in the Senate. I remembered. And he, like I said, I'm proud to introduce the next governor of Arkansas, Senator Fred Love.
So good morning, Marion County.
Morning.
Marion County. I am Senator Fred Love, and I am running to be the next governor of the great state of Arkansas. So let me first say thank you to Cindy. I mean, we've been keeping in contact, and thank you so much for the advice. So let's talk. All right. I usually talk about just a little bit about myself and who I am. But I don't know if I'm going to do that today. I'm going to just get into my platform, and then I want to get into just talking with you all, asking you all questions, because as I tour the state, that's really what I need to be doing. I need to be hearing from you all. What are your concerns? What keeps you up at night? Because that's what it's all about. Because at the end, it's going to be about how we turn out to really save Arkansas. So let me talk about my 3 pillars. All right, I have 3 pillars, which is economic development, public education, and public health. These are the 3 things that I'm going to run on, because these are the things that I see that have been impacting us for the last 16 years. Now, here's the thing. I have served 16 years, 12 in the House, 4 in the Senate. And I have seen a lot of things, you all. So, let me tell you, economic development is going to be one of the cornerstones. You know, we do a good job of economic development in Central Arkansas. And if you've been to Northwest Arkansas, we are knocking it out of the park. But when we go around to different communities around the state, there are just pockets of people that do not have jobs. And I'm letting you know, that stops under my watch. You know, we've spent a lot of money recruiting companies, paying big incentives. And guess what? A lot of these companies don't produce jobs that have a living wage. I tell people that we need jobs with living wages, because you know what? It's time out for people having to work 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet. So I say in every incentive contract, if we have them, we're going to ensure that we have a living wage clause in there. Because those are the jobs that Arkansans need. Because if we're going to fight affordability issues, rising gas prices, rising mortgage prices, these are the jobs that we need. Number 2, we have to work on our infrastructure to ensure that we can actually recruit. But also a part of that is, I don't want to spend a lot of our money incentivizing companies to come. I want to actually invest that money into small businesses that are here, so that we can grow our Arkansas businesses. If we can grow Arkansas businesses, there's usually more invested in what Arkansans do. So that's what I want to do. Last but not least, I want to talk to you all about labor unions. You know, in Arkansas, we have a shortage of a lot of different crafts. But in the construction, we have a major shortage. We have a shortage in trades. What we need to do is, I'm going to plan to partner with labor unions and get them back into the high schools, so we can have the shop classes, we can have those different classes like that, so that we're turning out people that can earn while they learn. Now, here's the thing. We always talk about a career pathway. If you want to go to college, I want to encourage you to go to college. If you want to go to the military, I want to encourage you to go to the military. But if you want to go into skills trades, I want to make sure that you have a career pathway into skills trades. Because guess what? Those are good paying, living wage jobs. So that's what I want to do around. I mean, in a nutshell, that's what I want to do around. I want to do around economic development, and I talk about regional economic hubs, and here's what I mean by regional economic hubs. Because if we want to get economic development going in a positive direction, sometimes we got to depend on the synergy that is going on there. And I'll give you a good example of a regional economic hub. Like the Port of Authority of Little Rock is a regional hub to where we have businesses that are in a consensus that are driving good paying jobs. And so I talk about regional economic hubs to connect those, because in regions, you can actually produce that synergy. And so that's what I talk about as well. The number two thing when I talk about economic development is, in order to have good economic development, you have to have a strong public education system. A strong public education system. Now, you all, I think you've heard, and if you haven't, I've gotten to a little hot water about saying that I'm going to issue an executive order, and my Department of Education will not issue any vouchers.
Yes.
That is my stance. Now, here's the thing, it's my stance because of this. If you've looked at the educational fund for many of the school districts, what they're doing is they're continuously come down. And that fund is a sustainability piece for school districts. When that fund is depleted, your school goes into academic distress. If your school system shuts down, it doesn't come back. You all, vouchers is the number one thing that's killing public education. What I want to do is I want to stop the vouchers, and I want to reinvest in public education. Because every child, no matter what their zip code is, no matter what school district they're in, they deserve a quality education. And that is what I'm talking about. Now, there's several things that I want to do in education. Now, we've heard about the literacy rates in Arkansas. You all, we had 10,000 students, 10,000 third graders, not just 10,000, 10,000 third graders that were not on level, not on grade level. We cannot have this. 3 years into the LEARNS Act, all we've done is throw money at the problem. We have to reinvest in our literacy programs so that we can get our kids on grade level reading. That is job number one. Because if a kid cannot read, they cannot succeed. So we're going to be investing in literacy. We're going to be investing in smaller classrooms so the teachers can do that one-on-one with students. We have to also give the resources to the teachers that they need. There's so many teachers that tell me, they invest in literacy, but I don't even have the resources that I can use. And I have to get into my pocket. That's not what needs to happen. We need to actually invest the money so that the teachers have the resources. Number two, we are number one in food insecurity. There is no reason why we should not have paid for school lunches for all children. For all children. Now, you can clap on that one. But here's the thing. We did breakfast at the Bell to feed kids at breakfast. But we need to finish the job. The lunch piece is what we need to finish, you all. If we do that, we are moving kids along at such a better rate. And then last but not least, I want to talk about mental health. I was at UCA talking with a group of students, Boys State, and I had several young men come and eat with me afterwards. And they began to talk to me about the ills of their communities. Talk about the drugs and different things that are just impacting their communities. But one young man came to me and said, Senator Love, and he waited. He said, Senator Love, he said, I had a friend that killed himself. And I just sat there quiet. I just wanted to just hear him. And then he said, Senator Love, we had a couple of other friends from that incident and they wanted to kill themselves. You all, our kids are suffering silently. We have to do something about it. We have to address this mental health crisis that our kids are going through. And it can't just be the larger school districts have the resources and the rural school districts don't. We have to address this issue. And so that's going to be one of my issues as well, is addressing the mental health needs of our students. Because just like if they fall and they break their arm, and we're taking them to the doctor, we need to also be doing the same thing, and we need to be addressing their mental health needs. So that's going to be one of my key things on my platform as well. And so feeding kids mental health, you can clap. I mean, like, these things are so important to make sure that our students are healthy. And with mental health, I will go into my last piece, which is our public health system. You know, right now, a lot of our health systems are shuttered. We have cut 500,000 people off of Medicaid under the Sanders administration. Our hospitals cannot afford to do that. Just because people do not have insurance doesn't mean they stop coming. And our hospitals are still taking care of it. You all, we must not only protect Medicaid, but we must invest in Medicaid. I was there. Now, the benefit of me being there 16 years, I was there when we passed the Affordable Care Act. And I would love to say that we passed the Affordable Care Act because we wanted to insure our Kansas. But we passed the Affordable Care Act because our hospitals were closing at record rates in our rural communities. Yeah. I want to prevent that, so that's why I said we must not only protect Medicaid, but we must invest in Medicaid because it helps keep our hospitals open and it helps preserve the quality of life throughout Arkansas. You all, I'm letting you know, these are our big issues. Because if we don't protect the quality of life, you all, we're not doing the things that we need to do for the people of Arkansas. This campaign is about investing in the people of Arkansas so that all families can thrive. We don't just need to survive, we need to thrive. And I'm telling you, a vote for Fred Love is a vote for your community. A vote for Fred Love is a vote for your family. A vote for Fred Love is a vote for your child. I have endured a lot of hardships that would have probably broken a lot of people. But it didn't break me. It brought about a resolve to actually go out and do what something my mom taught me a long time ago. And that is to be in service to mankind. I'm letting you all know, if you all elect me as your next governor, if you all help me reach that finish line, that will be a vote for Arkansas, and we can begin to invest in families. Thank you all. God bless you, and God bless the great state of Arkansas. It's very humbling, also. This is very humbling to actually run and be able to actually hear the story. So now, right now, I want to start hearing your stories. What kind of, can I open up for questions?
Oh, please.
Yes, sir.
You're talking about economic development. What do you think about Amendment 3? Is it good for us or not?
No, Amendment 3. So, I've done a little studying on Amendment 3. Amendment 3, I don't think it's going to be good for us. I think it might have a few pros, but I think it has more cons than anything. And so, just from what the little bit that I've studied about Amendment 3, I don't think that it's going to benefit us overall.
With every state around us that has those incentives, we're not getting, we're kind of being forced into passing Amendment 3. Do you not agree with that?
Here's I'm gonna tell you how we got to Amendment 3. You all, and this is, I'm gonna talk about a little bit about direct democracy and what we're doing to take away direct democracy. But the legislature actually sent out Amendment 3. We had 3 bad proposals, and we just chose the one of the lesser evil, which was Amendment 3. That's how we actually got to Amendment 3. There was just no other good choices, and people were thinking, all right, well, we can do economic development, because we didn't want to do the other 2. But then we did not know that the things that were in Amendment 3 were just not good the overall health of Arkansas. And so, but I want to switch to direct democracy because you all, the legislature pretty much is the only body that can actually send things out because of the fact that the direct democracy is under attack. That means our petition, you know how we petition, we're trying to make it harder for the people's voice to be heard. You all, we have to pay attention to this ballot initiative that's coming up because that preserves the right of Arkansans to bring things to the ballot and not make it as difficult. Because when you begin to talk about the thresholds, when you begin to talk about the process and actually presenting the amendments, these are things that actually just deter people from actually trying to get things on the ballot. Watch exactly how things are happening. Because this diamond is the voice of Arkansans. Arkansans should be able to bring any initiatives that they want to the ballot. If we want to change the Constitution, just like we did for lottery, just like we did for the minimum wage, we should be able to do that. We should be able to determine whatever we would like to be in our Constitution. And so, watch this ballot initiative. You all, we need to support the ballot initiative that's out, and we need to make sure that we preserve direct democracy, because that's your voice. That's our voice as Arkansans to actually change our Constitution.
Still petitions out.
Yes.
We're in a cure state now, so we can get more signatures. So if anybody hasn't signed the petition, please do so.
Yeah, it's important that we get that ballot initiative in, because we do not, like direct democracy, I'm telling y'all, that is our voice. And if you don't have a voice, that's the problem. Because like I said, the legislature is the only other body that's pushing ballot initiatives out. And you know how that is. We don't want those ballot initiatives. Yes, ma'am.
Where do you see these petitions? If there's petitions out here, where are they? I've not seen anything.
We had them here last month.
Yeah, well, I wasn't here last night.
Well, if you go to Harrison for any of the rallies, they always have petitions.
And
They
the
have
farmers
petitions
market.
at the rallies, okay.
And farmers market in Mountain Home has been having, that county
I have
said.
some in the car.
Oh, Jan has some in the car.
I'll go get them.
Now just but here's the thing though. But here's the thing about the petition though. Make sure that petition corresponds
With what I
to
believe.
your,
Yes,
no,
I know.
not with what you believe though, with your county.
Yeah.
With your
yeah,
county.
but-
Oh, with the
Yeah.
county,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a problem with investing in Medicaid. We have so much dead weight here, so many people taking advantage of it. How about putting them to work, CCC camps, WPA, put them to work, get them off the dole. I'm all for the people that need it, but there's so much abuse.
Well, so let's talk about the abuse, because a lot of people talk about fraud, right? They talk about fraud and say, hey, there's fraud in Medicaid, there's fraud in this, there's fraud in that. What people don't also tell you is this, is whenever you have fraud, you have your OIG. They don't talk about when we recover all of those funds. There is some fraud with doctors, but we actually recover a lot of that money. So there's the abuse that people say there is. There's not really that much abuse. Yes, and you know what? I'm all for people working, but here's the thing: is that 100,000 of those people that were cut off Medicaid, they were children. They were children.
I'm for
Now,
that.
I'm just saying though, they were children. They weren't adults. They weren't able-bodied people. They were children. And we can't have that. We're talking about protecting our kids and providing a place where they can grow up and be strong. We can't cut kids off Medicaid. Here's the thing. I am with you. If you are able-bodied, if I'm presenting myself, you know what? If I can go and be gainful employment, yes, like I should. I'm not against it. But guess what? You have workers at Walmart. You have people at Walmart. They work
full-time job. Guess what? Walmart is signing them up. Instead of saying, you know what, we're the biggest corporation and we can afford to pay you. Walmart is signing them up. Yeah.
Amen.
There was a big
So-
article recently in the New York Times that quote what those CEOs make as opposed to what everybody gets paid.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And so literally that's why I talk about living wage jobs, because we're providing these tax incentives to these companies. Guess what? They need to provide the jobs that our Kansas need. Yes. They need to provide the jobs that our Kansas need, because it's your taxpayer money, it's your taxpayer money, it's your taxpayer money. What would you like? You would like a job that is a living wage job and not just a job that's a minimum wage job. Yes. And so that's what I'm pushing on. Yes, ma'am.
I'm on the other side of that equation because I was a parent of 2 young children who was denied Medicaid and food stamps because I couldn't work. All I had to do was talk to my doctors. I didn't have a diagnosis. The doctors confirmed to me, yeah, I don't see how you could hold a job. But they never bothered to check with my doctors. They just denied me and my 2 children, who were, 10 and 11, food stamps. We're out literally scratching the earth, trying to plant a garden so that we have food to eat. Care to guess how many times I went without eating so my kids could? Yeah. You know what that did to my health since I was already sick? So these people, and forgive me ma'am, this is not directed at you, okay. People who think there's a lot of fraud in Medicare, no, there's a lot of people who don't get on it that deserve it. And it's the children that suffer every time. And we have to stop that. Those kids grow up, I was blessed. I got remarried and had a wonderful husband, and he encouraged my children, and they went through higher education, and they're making good money now, better than we make, and I'm proud of them. Do you know how most kids that start out like that end up? Doing the same thing over and over and over again. How many generations do you want like that? We need to lift these people up. Make sure there's safeguards, please. But we need to lift these people up that just lost everything in Washington State or Missouri and moved here on a raw piece of land because that's their last ditch hope to survive, not to make big money, to survive, to not have their kids die of some disease because they can't afford to get them to a doctor. And I'm not even talking about what I went through as the parent of a child who was hungry, or how many nights I went to sleep without eating, how many mornings I got up and went and did a full day's work out on the land. I'm not working in an office because I can't hold a job, because I can't guarantee I can show up there every day. But I go out and I work my land every day for as many hours as I can, and I'm not eating because I was denied food stamps, because I couldn't prove to them, not my doctors were in agreement with me, but the government said, no, you can go out and work. You know what they wanted me to work as? Minimum wage jobs. How's that going to feed my kids?
I'm not sure people can get to work on a minimum wage job today with the gas prices.
That's right, gas is a huge issue.
And the thing about that is you can multiply that thousands of times.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
there's thousands of stories just like that.
I am far from alone in that story.
So while we do that, while we experience that here, the state of Arkansas is sending money to Israel. Okay? And if you're in business here and you want to do business with any entity, the school system, the county, the county or the state, you have to sign a loyalty oath to Israel. Now, what are we going to do about that?
I remember.
Are we going to continue to support them, or are we going to support us here in Arkansas? Because we're sending money to Israel. Arkansans are.
So, but Vote for Free Love says that you're not going to be doing that.
systems are the retirement systems, and they try to make their investments, but I would not be encouraging that. I would be encouraging the investment in the Arkansas people. And that's this campaign, you all, I'm going to echo it again. This campaign is about investing in Arkansas people. It's about investing in your communities. It's about investing in your people. And so here's the thing. I mean, ma'am, your story, I will tell you, it kind of hit home for me because my mom had 4 kids. And when you begin to talk about your story, for those of you all that don't know my story, I will tell you, by the time I was 3 years old, I almost went through a near fatal car accident. It sent my mom spiraling. She was newly divorced and was pretty much put into bankruptcy for pretty much my entire childhood. By the time I was in 5th grade, I can remember the night that we slept in my mom's car. I slept in my mom's car with 2 siblings. My brother was already in my grandparents' house. And we went to go stay with my grandparents. Thanks be to God, they had a place for us to stay. And so when you talk about your hardships, ma'am, those hardships, I've lived them. I've been that hungry child. You all, that's not a place for a child.
It's not.
Nope.
Not at all.
Not when it,
Not at all.
you look into that child's eyes and see the pain. That's all you got to do.
Especially in the richest nation on the planet, supposedly.
And why do we have children starving to death in the richest nation of the world?
We think.
It's going to address that.
No, go ahead, go. Come on, address it.
No, I am really excited, and I don't know a whole lot about it, so I'm going to admit that right up front. But Andy Kim just this week introduced this is federal level, introduced a bill called Medi-Kids. It's like Medicare for all, but it starts with kids. So as soon as a child is born, they are guaranteed that they're going to get insurance. And that preventative measure makes human beings more productive. So it addresses all of the things you're talking about. But I don't know that much about it, and I'm recommending that you look into it.
I will look into it.
I don't know if Arkansas could have something like that.
Text that to me and I'll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a retired mental health nurse practitioner, but I worked in Missouri most of the time. I just retired at the age of 72. So, and I worked in mental health for 23 years. So 10 years of it, 13 of it was in the VA, and then 10 years of it was in the private sector for a family-owned not-for-profit in southeast Missouri, all rural. Missouri's mental health system isn't great. I mean, nothing in the United States is great, but Missouri is a whole lot better than Arkansas. Because when I moved to Arkansas, people were asking me to help them find services, and we just don't have them here.
Right.
And I do volunteer work for the National Alliance for Mental Illness, and people that are wanting support groups are coming to Missouri for those support groups because we don't even have volunteer services for mental health in Arkansas. Another thing I want to say about Medicaid is that it was a lifeblood for a lot of these people. And people are walking around with a lot of mental health illnesses that really are not obvious on the outside. And so a lot of these people are people that well, they could go to work. I will tell you that many of these people could not hold a job anywhere and have tried, or nobody would hire them. So, do these people deserve to die and not get health care?
We see all these young people, young adults, still living at home under the Medicaid. That's the dead weight I'm talking about.
I don't know that they're eligible for Medicaid.
How about the CCC camps? That's what we did for them.
Well, yeah,
And they got
that's a good
abused in
idea.
those camps, though. That's the problem. You can't ship off the young people. We need to support the young people and lift them up. Why are they living at home?
Give them a job. Pick up the garbage.
Maybe there's no job worth having. If it's nothing but minimum wage out there, what's there to look forward to? You can't afford rent, you can't afford food, you can't afford.
Yeah, if you can get them on Medicaid, they will be eligible for vocational rehab services, and they will be eligible, this is Missouri, I don't know about Arkansas, and they can get somebody to help them get back into the workforce. Goodwill Industries does a lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
Just the same thing that the CCC ever did.
So here's what I want to do. Here's what because we are having a great conversation. I want to take one more and then I want to wrap up because I don't want to try to dominate you all's weekend. So it's beautiful weather outside. I know what you're saying. Now Fred Love is not going to get my vote because he took my weekend. All right. I want to take one more question and then we can wrap up. But just think.
One thing that I hear over and over and over again is that tradespeople cannot find anybody to work. Over and over, we've tried to get things done in our house, other people have.
I can address that.
And everyone says, I cannot find anybody to do the job.
I've heard that, but I'm gonna let you.
Well, I've been a member of the IBEW for 45 years.
Electrical workers.
I've been retired for about 18 years now.
Congratulations.
And I was not able to make my living in Marion County
tried.
or in Arkansas.
We tried.
So I traveled all over the United
right to work
States to make a living so that when I did get old, I could live with some dignity with a pension. And that's what tradespeople don't have here. They barely make enough money to get to work every day, you know.
They're
So
living hand to mouth.
you don't have tradespeople here because they can't make a living here.
It's a right to work state.
We
That's
go
why.
where the money is.
It's a right to work state.
Yeah.
Unions
Yeah.
are
We go where the
discouraged
money
heavily.
is. You can go 300 miles up the road and make $100,000 a year.
Why would you stay in
Why would you
Arkansas?
stay here? But if you want to live here, you have to maintain 2 homes. So,
All right, so Marion County. Marion County. First of all, thank you all for having me. Thank you all for being here. And I'm asking for your support to be the next governor of the great state of Arkansas.
Oh, yeah.
Join me, and I tell you, we can change Arkansas. Thank you, and God bless you.
Well, we have a small donation to you because we're new, but we're proud to present this to you for your campaign. Wish it was more, maybe it will be for long, but I'll donate.
Thank you all.
But I'm sure Senator Love will be over there and we'll be happy to talk to any of you when we adjourn. Thank you so much. All right, folks, does anybody have any announcements or anything else? Oh, yes, over here we got signs, we got push cards, we got buttons. I love buttons. Please help yourself to refreshments, even if you already have, go get some more. All right, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
second.